So yeah, we got to talk about Assassin's Creed Shadows because there's been some very interesting things happening around this game lately. And we also got a bunch of brand new gameplay that was just revealed. And there's been a lot of negativity centered around this game, but lately things have shifted, and I really wanted to talk about that shift because it looks like Ubisoft is taking to the players' feedback, and delaying this game might actually be the best decision. Because each time Ubisoft releases new clips of this one, it's looking better and better. And yes, I actually got to play this game very recently. I'm going to have my full coverage up on January 23rd. So whatever you do, subscribe, turn on the bell notification icon, and be on the lookout for my impressions and all new gameplay. And by the way, yes, I'm doing a very big Assassin's Creed Shadows giveaway. So for a chance to win a copy of Assassin's Creed Shadows, be sure to follow that link in the top pinned comment, leave a like, and subscribe. But today we're going to talk about some brand new features that are definitely flying under the radar, because there's some really cool stuff going on here. And Ubisoft revealed all new stuff that we've got to go over. So I'm going to be honest with you guys, there has been so much noise around Assassin's Creed Shadows, it has been crazy. And my opinion is I like to get my hands on the game and just ignore all the excess noise. That's just how I am. I don't know if you guys are the same way or not, but I like to play the game and sit down with it and take my time and see what it's like for myself. With that being said, when this game was first revealed and the gameplay demos were rolling out at first, yeah, the game looked rough. There were parts about the gameplay where I'm like, this looks like it needs more time in the oven. And guess what? Ubisoft made the wise decision, at least I think it was a very smart decision, to delay the game. Hey, yeah, take your time, make sure it's polished, give us what we really want as, you know, Assassin's Creed fans, as gamers. And that's what Ubisoft is hoping to do here. And they did delay it again a second time to March 20th, which I'm not surprised by at all. I think it's smart to get out of the way of other competition anyway, and then also let the team have more time to cook. But from the recent gameplay demonstrations that have been releasing in the past month or so, you can see that the extra time the dev team has been given is apparently paying off. At least I'm crossing my fingers that that is the case. And also, I think it's smart that they are focusing on Naue just because she's more of a stealth focused character, and we all know that the DNA, the core DNA of Assassin's Creed, is stealth gameplay. And it is going to be nice to be able to have the option of playing as Yasuke as well on top of all this, but I really wanted to see, you know, feudal Japan showcased in Assassin's Creed universe in a very stealthy gameplay manner. And so far, the stealth mechanics themselves, they look legit, at least in my opinion. There's some really cool features that they have really showcased through their gameplay demonstrations, and light and shadow being a big part of that, by the way. And they're placing more of an emphasis on that type of mechanic this go around compared to previous Assassin's Creed games, which is pretty cool. And they've also showcased some pretty cool mechanics, being able to hide in water and still be able to breathe with a bamboo pole. But this is the type of thing that I wanted to see from their initial gameplay demonstrations for Assassin's Creed Shadows. And it's nice to see that this sort of thing is actually ending up in the game. But I also got to say, even compared to the initial combat demonstration with Yasuke, that's even looking more polished and sharp as well. So if you want that gameplay style as a samurai, it seems like that is very much there. And there's always going to be that comparison, of course, to Ghost of Tsushima, which is like one of my favorite open world games of all time. But yeah, even still, this is looking really, really sharp. And I gotta say, even though Naue is more of a stealth-centric character, even her combat looks absolutely badass. She looks like she's gonna be a little bit more fragile in combat, but man, she's got the moves. So to be able to have both different types of gameplay styles and to be able to switch back and forth between them, it worked very well, by the way, in Assassin's Creed Syndicate, and it looks like it could work very well here as well. And I wanted to showcase this clip here in its entirety because this is one of the systems in the game that I am mostly excited about. They kind of did it a little bit in Assassin's Creed 3 back in the day, but now they're taking it to an entirely different level, and I'm talking about seasons and of course the day-night cycle. But I wanted to focus in on the seasons here because it's also apparently going to impact gameplay and how you interact with the world, and also how NPCs interact with the world as well, which is really, really cool. And apparently certain quest lines will open up or close depending on what season you are in, which is noteworthy. And one example they did give about seasons is that you'll find that when it's raining, NPCs will take shelter, or if you are dealing with, snow-covered rooftops and there's icicles hanging from the roofs, you can actually knock off the icicles if you're like sneaking up on the roof and accidentally draw attention to yourself. So those type of mechanics I find very impactful to the gameplay, where you have to kind of be aware of what season you are in, notice the gameplay changes, and adjust accordingly, which I absolutely love. And I gotta say, from what we're seeing from the seasons and that sort of gameplay, it looks like a visual feast for the eyes. And the dev team did mention that it is going to up the replayability for the game. So if you do revisit certain locations, it's going to look very, very different based on what season you're in. And I think that's gonna up the longevity of this game big time. Because I loved it in Assassin's Creed 3, the differences between the seasons. I thought it was really cool how they implemented it, but it just looks like they're taking it to a whole different level here. And I think with this entry for the Assassin's Creed franchise, story is going to be more important than ever. For me personally, the Assassin's Creed franchise has been all over the place when it comes to story. Still to this day, my all-time favorite Assassin's Creed game is Assassin's Creed 2. Let me know what your favorite Assassin's Creed game is. I'm actually kind of curious. Leave a comment down below. And I gotta say, there are so many excellent stories they can tell in this era for sure, especially after watching Shogun, which has become one of my all-time favorite TV series ever. Yes, I really do hope that this story is good. And I actually did some homework to find out who the lead writer is for Assassin's Creed Shadows, and it kind of bodes well. It's the lead writer of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and that one was actually well received, and still to this day, apparently that sells pretty good. And I can see why they rehired the writer from Assassin's Creed Odyssey, because a lot of people did enjoy that story. And even if you didn't particularly like the actual story itself, there was a lot of personality with the characters. And I even said to you guys, you can have an average story, but if you have really, really good, lovable characters, that can elevate that story big time. So hopefully they put the characters first and foremost as priority when it comes to the writing. And I did also want to talk about how, yes, this is a full-blown RPG. You will have multiple dialogue options, and there's going to be branching story paths. I believe there are going to be multiple endings as well. But if you want to stick with what the writer wants you to experience, something that is very cool, and I actually think it's a big feature that is flying under the radar, is that you can actually turn on the Canon story option, which eliminates all those dialogue options and basically takes you on the path of a traditional Assassin's Creed story like Assassin's Creed 2, where you don't have all those options, where instead the writer wants you to experience all the tonal shifts and the emotions that they want you to experience throughout the story. And I think that's actually a great choice, because if you want more of a traditional Assassin's Creed experience in the sense of the actual story itself, I think it would be wise to turn on the Canon option if you want to just sit back and relax and enjoy the cinematics, don't have to worry about the choices and consequences, and have the story end up the way it's meant to be. And I honestly wish more RPGs would have that option, because I personally love that sort of thing. And then, of course, have that additional option of replaying the game on perhaps like a New Game Plus. I don't know if this game has confirmed New Game Plus or not. But anyway, yeah, being able to replay the game and then have the dialogue options and seeing the differences between the canon experience is really, really nice. But yeah, mentioning that this is an RPG, that's also something that ruffles some feathers. Some people want the absolute traditional Assassin's Creed experience where it isn't about, dialogue options, health bars, leveling up, that sort of thing. Yeah, so this game is going to lean into RPG big time. Think of it more like Assassin's Creed Odyssey in that way, it seems, or even like Assassin's Creed Origins, and not like Mirage. But I think, again, I've mentioned this beforehand, that it's cool that Ubisoft is catering to two different audiences here within the Assassin's Creed universe to really mix it up and not make Assassin's Creed so stale. So it's nice to know that, they're bouncing from like the Mirage type experience, the traditional Assassin's Creed experience, and then opening it up to more of an RPG experience as well. But I also like the fact that they're giving you at least that option to kind of like center in with that story, with that canon story option at the very least. But yeah, consider me curious about this one. Each iteration of gameplay has me looking at this like, man, that's actually looking pretty damn good despite all the noise around this game. When you actually see it, like, it's looking very, very polished and solid so far. So crossing my fingers that the extra time that the dev team has been given really does help this game out in the long term. That March 20th date is definitely a little bit you know, a ways off, but I'm willing to wait and see how this one pans out. Now, remember, yeah, you know, I did get to play this game recently. I can't tell you my personal opinions about it just yet, but I will be able to on January 23rd. And yes, I am also giving away a copy of Assassin's Creed Shadow to one lucky winner. So yeah, look out for that in the pin top comment if you want a chance to win a copy of Assassin's Creed Shadows. But thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned here for more, and I will see you all next time. Take care.